quite simple. Press the free like button if you will never view Daniel Bryan the same ever again. First, he was the ringleader of firing CM Junk, and now his new job title is to give out fines to his fellow wrestlers on the roster. Remember, his fellow wrestlers. He's still wrestling. This is bad. Come on, we gotta press the free like button for that. I would never view Daniel Bryan ever the same on TV as long as he's still wrestling for All Elite Fake Wrestling. He is the feds. So what do I think about Daniel Bryan being the law and order of All Elite Fake Wrestling? I have a serious issue with this. Because why is a contracted wrestler on your roster giving out fines to his coworkers who got the same job as him? I'm like, hold on, bro. Me and you are both wrestlers on this roster. Who are you to give me a fine if I shit talk the company? So, I'm sorry, Daniel Bryan feels like a fucking hypocrite. This guy says, oh yeah, I don't like wearing suits. I'm not a company man. I'm like, bro, your job is to give out fines to your fellow coworkers on your roster. To me, that is a conflict of interest. That's like, bro, Triple H did not do this. This is beyond Triple H. Now it feels like Mr. Daniel Bryan, he is no longer a part of the boys. That's how people viewed Triple H. Like, if you asked other wrestlers, did you feel like Triple H was a part of the boys back in his prime? They would say no. I'm like, no, bro. He was the son-in-law of the boss of the company. So in a way, he was always going to have his current job. So of course, a lot of people felt like he was never a part of the boys in that locker room based on the power that he had. He had power to get you fired. I feel like Daniel Bryan has the power to be an influence on getting you fired from the company. This don't make no sense. This is like being in retail and your coworker went from being an associate to your boss. So now it's like, yeah, bro, things will never be the same now because now you are my boss. Things will never be the same. I don't like this. Now, I don't have an issue with All Elite Fake Wrestling handing out fines to talent who talk shit about the company. I feel like, okay, that's standard practice. That's standard. That's normal. Because if you compare that to other companies, you don't really hear tons of wrestlers shit talking their current companies until they get released, right? So I feel like this is standard practice for other companies. It's not public because wrestlers don't have that job to give off fines to their fellow wrestlers. This is a conflict of interest. When it comes to Daniel Bryan, he feels like the teacher's pet. That's what he is. He is the teacher's pet. If this dude is on the board of committee, when it comes to saying, oh, this guy should be fired and this guy should be suspended, I'm like, whoa, bro, he's a wrestler. You're not supposed to do that. Because if I was on that roster, bro, I would view Daniel Bryan like I view Tony Khan, man. I would view Daniel Bryan like you view a fucking Shane McMahon or Stephanie McMahon. That's how you should view him now, because now he is in Tony Khan's right-hand pocket. Because I heard that he books Collision. That's what I heard. This dude books Collision. So, what is he? Look, man, I feel like Daniel Bryan, that dude sold out. He is a sellout. This dude is a fucking sellout. He a snake. I'm sorry. He's a fucking snake. I don't care what he says. Because if I was on that roster, bro, I would not take that job. Because, bro, you are going to hurt relationships on that roster. Let me repeat. He is going to hurt his friendships on that roster. Because now, that guy is a fucking snitch. Example, last week, Dr. Britt Baker was crying on Twitter, saying that she hasn't gotten out one promo on TV all year long. So I'm going to assume that Daniel Bryan gave her a fine for saying that. Let that sink in. That's why this is a huge issue, because I can't see Triple H, even in his prime, doing this. It's like, now it's like, okay, I can't hang out with Daniel Bryan. Even in that locker room, I feel like that guy is a fucking snitch. He is the feds. He is a cop. He is Tony Khan light. I'm like, bro, I can no longer be your friend now. Because hell, what if I shit talk the company in that damn locker room? Hell, you might snitch on me to Tony Khan, man, right? If I say, man, I wish I was booked better. damn man, Con Man don't know what he's doing. Bro, I can't say that around Daniel Bryan, right? Based on his new job title. That guy is a fucking snitch. He is the feds, right? He is a rat in prison. That's what he is. Like, bro, you are cut off. That's what I mean. This is serious. This is dead serious, man. I can't believe that DB did this. I'm like, if Con Man would have gave me this job, I would have said no. I'm like, nah, bro. I want to have a good friendship with my coworkers on his roster. That's cut off if I were to take this job. I'm like, this guy is a wrestler. He is a fake wrestler, which means, like, bro, you can easily hand this job to a Drake Lynn. You can easily hand this job to a Taz or a Jim Ross, right? People like that who are not in the ring. Like, bro, out of all the people, why give Daniel Bryan this job, right? It makes no sense based on the fact that, listen, when it comes to DB, when it comes to Daniel Bryan, he's never on social media to begin with. That's the funny part about it. So who is he to be the law and order on social media when he's rarely on social media? This makes no fucking sense. This is bad. It's like, bro, you done opened up a can of worms, Mr. DB. Because now, look, if I was on a roster, he is cut off. Okay? He is the man, right? That's what I mean. He is the fucking man in terms of, yeah, man, you a cop, okay? This is like being in jail. He is the rat. He is a snitch in prison. He is like that kid at school. You are the teacher's pet. Just like in every job, right? Every boss has their own favorite employee. That's what I mean. Every boss has their own favorite employee, and people call that employee their favorite. Oh yeah, that dude, he's a kiss ass. That's what Daniel Bryan is, and he's a kiss ass. This is crazy. This is more serious than Daniel Bryan being on a board that got CM Punk fired, right? This is more bigger, because I'm like, hold on, bro. Okay. What if, I don't know, a Wardlow was to talk shit about the company on Twitter? And what if Daniel Bryan gave him a hefty fine? What if Daniel Bryan was to wrestle Wardlow the next week? Like I said, that is a conflict of interest. Like, hold on, bitch. Me and you have a match tomorrow, and you gave me a fine on Twitter? Like, you're like, this is insane in the membrane. Tony Khan is a fucking idiot. Dude, Vince McMahon wouldn't give Triple H this kind of power. This is off. This is strange. It's weird. It's awful. This is weird. Even back in the day, people had their gripes about Triple H. People feel like he was a snitch and a snake behind dudes' backs, right? People felt like Triple H was the reason why certain guys did not get pushed because he had tons of influence. Okay, well, I mean, bruh, he is the husband of the boss's daughter. It's like, hey, that's pretty accurate. Like, why not? Hell, I would use my same stroke, right? I would use my same stroke like Triple H if I had that kind of power. But this is weird because that was like, okay, I can see that Triple H is the fucking son-in-law, right? He is the son-in-law. That makes sense. Bryan is just a wrestler on the roster. I'm assuming, dude, Tony Khan is a huge fanboy of Daniel Bryan, right? What if Daniel Bryan don't like you as a person? He might be your next target. Like, okay, what are the odds? Okay, let's say Daniel Bryan had this job back at the World Wrestling Federation. I'm assuming, bruh, this dude would have gave the Miz fines every week. That's what I mean, bitch. This is a conflict of interest. Dude, I will guarantee it. If Daniel Bryan had this job back in the World Wrestling Federation, that dude would have gave the Miz fines every week. Facts. That's what I mean. Bro, he is a wrestler. Pro wrestlers should not be the law and order over other fake wrestlers on the roster. That makes no sense. I mean, dude, you have to retire. You can't do that. Me and you have the same job title. We are both performers. You cannot fucking police me like you are my fucking boss when you are a performer like me. We have the same goals, right? We want to put on great matches. We are both performers. Who are you to give me a fine if I crap on a company on Twitter? Who are you to fucking do that? That makes no sense. So, Con Man, he is an idiot. Look, I can't see Eric Bischoff giving Nash and Scott Hall and Hogan this kind of power. Bruh, that would have been a huge can of worms. Because those guys already had power backstage. Just imagine if they were the law and order on social media, on what you can say and what you can't say. Are you insane? I'm like, wow. So Bryan, he is booking on Saturdays. And on top of that, he is the law and order on what to say and what not to say on Twitter. So if a fucking Britt Baker or Adam Coleslaw or a Max talk shit about All Elite fake wrestling on Twitter, he will give them a fine. Like I said, man, he needs to retire. Because, dude, you are no longer a part of the boys. You are the feds. You are a suit, right? You are a suit. It's like, dude, you don't understand. If I was on that roster, I would never talk to Daniel Bryan ever again. And if I did, it would just be about business. I will not be his homeboy ever again until he retires, okay? Because that makes no sense. It's like, you are a performer, but at the same time, you are my real life boss in real life, where it's like, I can't say shit about the company on Twitter unless you are gonna find me if I do. Now, like I said, I don't have an issue with All Elite fake wrestling giving out fines. But that just goes to show you, I think Comment is a scared little pussy. I'm like, bro, that's your job, right? Bro, that's your job. If a Hobbs or Andre Idol was to talk shit about your company, bro, that's your job to say, okay, don't do that. I'm going to give you a fine. Okay, you gotta live with that, right? Because that's Tony Khan Man's company. Okay, cool. Okay, I won't do it again. But if you give that job to a guy who has my job title, who is nothing more than a performer, come on, bro, I got an issue with that. This is beyond Triple H. People want to say, oh, Triple H, he got ahead in the company because he was the son-in-law of the boss. Well, bro, he was married to his daughter. So I don't care about that. That's normal. I would have done the same thing, bitch. But Con Man is a fanboy of Daniel fucking Bryan. I feel like that is a higher conflict of interest. Because why would Tony Khan Man give him that job title if he was not a fan of him, right? Why not give that job title to, I don't know, Jack Perry, right? Why not give that job title to a Jeff Hardy or a Matt Hardy? Why Daniel fucking Bryan, a guy that you are a huge fan of? Like I said, that is a conflict of interest. I don't like that. Like I said, I don't have an issue with All Elite fake wrestling doing this when it came to, okay, if you talk shit, we are going to fine you. Okay, that's normal, because I think the World Wrestling Federation does that. That's why we don't hear it all the time. We don't see tons of people on the roster on Raw, SmackDown, talking shit about their spots on Twitter. You don't hear it, right? Because I think they also hand out fines for doing that. But it's not by other wrestlers. That's the problem. I'm sure TNA, I'm sure New Japan Fake Wrestling also does this. We don't hear about it because they did not give that job title to fucking Okada, okay? They didn't give that job title to Roman Reigns. That is the equivalent. Imagine Triple H giving this job title to Roman Reigns. People would have an issue with this. Imagine Vince McMahon giving this job title to Roman Reigns. Where, hey, if you talk shit about the company, Roman Reigns is going to fine you. I'm like, wow, man. Cody Rhodes would do this in All Elite Fake Wrestling, man. Omega, the Bucks. Wow, hold on. Why not give this job title to a Kenny Omega, right? Ain't he a goddamn EVP? Like, make that make sense. Why not give this job title to, I don't know, the Bucks or their wives, right? Like, so this is insane in the membrane. This is malpractice. Facts. This is a sign that, bro, Con Man, you don't know what you're doing. Who is fucking Daniel Bryan to fucking be the law and order on what to say and what not to say on social media when he's never on social media? It's like, damn, man, it's like, he is the teacher's pet. He is a kiss ass. He is worse than Triple H. You know what? This whole video is about Daniel Bryan being worse than Triple H. Bro, Triple H, he don't do this. Seriously, he did not do this back in the day. That's the crazy part. Nash, Hall, Hogan, all the guys on fucking Ric fucking Flair. He wouldn't have this job title in the NWA. I can't see Ric Flair doing this back in the 80s. It's like, nah, bro. It's like, that's a little bit too much. Where it's like, damn, man, I will fine you if you talk shit. It's like, bro, you can't do that if we are both professional wrestlers. It's like, bro, you are killing friendships by doing that. Because people don't see DB as their boss. But now they do. Now they know, okay, this guy is a fucking snitch. He is in the right-hand pocket of Tony Khan, man. Bro, I can't be around you now. Go away. You are a rat in prison. Okay? He is a rat in prison. He is an informant. That's what he is. He is a cop informant. He is a undercover informant that you can't be around. That's it. I'm done.